Hello, beach friends. I recently saw this quote, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Wayne Dyer. Now, this is all about perspective, and I will admit, I am a glass half full kind of gal, and this could be just a beach with birds running around. But I had stopped to capture this as a moment in time that will never be repeated, with the surf just so, the birds darting from the waves, the shells stacked up in the rack line as I look out at the expansive Atlantic Ocean and say, wow, I'm just lucky to be alive. And I'm going to take this attitude and bring you along with me as we explore two different Southeast Florida locations in hopes of finding beach treasures. Now, sometimes these treasures are in the form of seashells. Sometimes they're in the form of sea beans. Sometimes I get lucky enough to find a seashell that I've never been able to hold before. And sometimes it can even include shark teeth. Now, that tooth I just showed you, that was actually given to me, but I am going to try my luck and see if I can break my dry spell, as I have yet to find a shark tooth in Southeast Florida. But let's start at the beginning of my day. I'm here at the Jupiter Inlet, and I've got the company of other people who have come to watch the sunrise, so we are going to check that out, as well as start our hunt for those beach treasures. All right. Already I can kind of tell I'm going to have my work cut out for me, at least here in this location. It doesn't look like there's all that much. I will pick up any garbage that I see along the way as well, because I figure, you know what, if I can't find any seashells, at a minimum, I'm going to leave the beach in a little bit better condition than how I found it. So I'm here at the Jupiter Inlet. Tide is super high. I'm not here for the tide. I'm here for the sunrise and the seashells, frankly. So I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on the sun coming up as I comb the beach and see what all might be out here. Okay. This is a man-o-war. I don't get to see them on the southwest coast of Florida, but they do show up here on the southeast coast. It's really kind of beautiful, and we will talk about these as the day goes on. It almost looks like it's been like picked up and put down again. Look at the way the sand is, those depressions. Weird. And I'm going to kind of keep my distance as well, because even if those critters aren't floating out in the ocean, the tentacles can still sting you. All right, let's see. Oh, another one. Okay. All right, better keep my eyes peeled. Because like I said, actually, even if they are deceased, the stingers can still get you. So you really got to be careful with those man-o-wars. All right, we'll keep moseying along. I'm lucky that there's not that much seaweed. I guess the seaweed season is really kind of summer. All right, sun's trying to peek up. There it is. There it is. And sometimes you can't tell because of the clouds. Like, it's hard to say if you're actually going to see the sun come up or not, if it's going to be hidden behind clouds. All right, it's going to be a little bit of both. It's still gorgeous, though. The color, the way that it lights up the clouds. Yeah, let's zoom out. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, it's so pretty. Yeah, I can see why people would get up early to see this. Absolutely beautiful. Another one. Holy mackerel. Now, this is a man-o-war, and people sometimes confuse them. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. And this is a family-friendly channel, people. I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to say what I think we're probably all thinking, how beautifully blue and purple that creature is. So this is actually a siphonophore. It's not a jellyfish. A siphonophore, it's not a single animal. It's a colonial organism. And it's made up of specialized individual units called zooids. So there's different pieces that kind of work together. There's one that handles digestion, one for reproduction, one for movement, and then one for defense. So it's like they're a team and they get together and they create a man-o-war. Wow, that's like a living postcard. It is so beautiful. And I'm so excited because I'm really hoping to find different things, maybe break out my shell book and see what else we can learn. But anyway, if you're ready to see what all is out there for us today, let's go to the beach. Well, hot dog. It's not a shell. It's a bean. It's a sea heart bean. Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. Now, I usually don't get to see them again on the West Coast. These are, they're a bean pod from a monkey ladder vine, which is a tropical vine. And they kind of disperse all over, the tropics along the different currents and stuff. And it actually inspired Columbus's search for land to the west. Go figure, the sea heart bean. Oh, that is really cool. It's beautiful. And of course, the spectral bittersweets. These are, from what I can tell, extremely common. I still think they're kind of fun. It's kind of like one of those things like you can just always expect them to be there, and they kind of look like candy. It doesn't look like there's much else. There's some sand here. Oh, beautiful sunrise, though. I mean, it is just absolutely gorgeous out. So we'll just see how it goes. I do have a plan. I have a second beach as a backup, so we'll just kind of see what's going on here, and if it doesn't pan out to be too what's the word, fruitful, then yeah, we're gonna leave. Now I kind of see something up ahead. I don't know how you guys shell, but sometimes I'll pick a landmark or something and say, okay, I'm gonna get up to that spot, and if I don't see anything, I'll turn around. So I'm on my way to that spot. Here it looks like we do have a couple of those lady in waiting Venus clams, some arcs, a couple of those bittersweets. So it doesn't look like there's anything too much out of the ordinary. Okay, a giant bittersweet. That is swell. Lovely. I do not have, I wonder if they all lose their color. All of the larger ones that I have lost their color. I guess it's just the way it is. Which kind of makes sense because like the larger horse conchs and lightning whelks, things like that, they also kind of tend to lose their color as they get bigger. Okay, so this was a spot I kind of saw down the beach, and they're rocks. So it's more limestone. This is still part of the Anastasia Formation that we talked about last week, because Blowing Rocks and Coral Cove Park, they have a whole bunch of limestone. And apparently here over near the Jupiter Inlet, we have some limestone over here as well. So this is all fossilized shell material, which is really kind of cool. Yeah, because the ocean has covered Florida and receded from Florida and done, Florida's been underwater and out of water a couple different times. And so this all used to be underwater at some point. And I'm not, frankly, I'm just not having a whole lot of luck here. So this was beautiful. I got my sea bean. I picked up a little bit of garbage, but I'm ready to go ahead and head on to the next beach because it doesn't look like I'm really going to find much here. So the next beach is in Juno. So this is Palm Beach County, access number 18. So this is where I'm going to get onto the beach at this point. I have been here before at this particular access. Oh, it's so pretty. And it was okay. And I do know, like in the back of my mind, I know that you can kind of get shark teeth here. And people are reminding me as I'm walking down the beach. There's actually a lot more people looking for shark teeth than seashells. So I was in luck. So it's still pretty. Sun is up. Oh, all right. Looking a little weak. That's okay. I'm just going to start walking because I suspect if I put some effort in, I can find at least a little something here. Plus get in a really good walk. And the view is not terrible either. Oh my gosh. All right. Another one of those man-o-wars. Okay. I got a little curious. Why are there so many? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of them. Is it because of the wind? Well, let's check in. All right, tide is still high. That's okay. It's going out. It's 67, but the wind is only like 3 miles an hour. So, okay. Well, maybe it was really strong yesterday. I don't know. But I kept seeing them. All right. So then I did a little more research, and yes, apparently they do have a kind of like a season from January to about March is when they will. It's possible that they kind of show up on the beaches. I didn't know that. Oh, they're neat. And I know, and deadly and dangerous and all that other good stuff, but they're just really, really interesting. The man-o-war. Now we already know it's not a jellyfish. We know it can hurt you even if it's dead. We know that it tends to show up on southeast beaches between January and March. So I'm learning all sorts of, oh my gosh, learning all sorts of things about these siphonophores. Now, not surprising, their diet would consist of plankton and small fish, which they immobilize with their venomous tentacles. And apparently they are common in warm ocean waters, especially the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans. And in the United States, they're really mostly often seen on the East Coast, especially here in Southeast Florida. Yep, that's a man of war. All right, let's see what else we might find other than... No, I guess it's going to be more man of wars. Yep. Oh, it's so for me, this was really crazy. I remember seeing one. Oh, it was literally just one a couple of years ago, and I was all excited. And today I'm like, wow, it was Man of War Day at some of these Southeast Florida beaches. Had I known, I would have stuck some vinegar in my backpack, but just gonna keep my distance and I should be okay. Okay, so some seashells. All right, an olive, lettered olive. Yep, not gonna look like the ones that I typically find. That's a swell lettered olive. Probably not gonna collect that. And some bittersweets. Anything special? Oyster, all right. If I pass by, like, if there was like a Scotch bonnet laying here and I passed by it, please tell me. I don't think I did, but boy, oh boy. Beach is making me work. So we do have another giant bittersweet. Very nice. All right. Yeah, just a bunch of those hardy little bittersweets. Oh, and the giant bittersweets. So, I am picking up the other ones, but these are just a little bit more special. And you will see that tan color. Remember we talked about that too, the iron oxide. Bright orange broken shell. All right, we'll just leave that. All right. It's kind of making that sea heart beam even more special. So here's a lady in waiting Venus clam. A particularly lovely one. Yep, that is just swell. They grow bigger over here. A turkey wing or a zigzag arc. This one was kind of fun because it almost looks like it had three very distinct growing phases. You can see 1, 2, 3 there on the right. And that is a little bit how these shells work. If there's a lot of good food, they're going to grow and be okay. If they need to like hunker down, sometimes you really can see that as evidence in the shell. This is a thorny oyster. Love that color. Of course, the thorns of the thorny oyster, long gone, long broken off by that limestone. Still a very pretty shell. All right, another little giant bittersweet. Yay, a little more color in there. That's actually a quite lovely shell. I do wish it would keep that caramel color as it got bigger. Now here we go. So this is a red-brown arc. And for whatever reason, I always tend to find them when I come over here to the East Coast. Like just one. I'm not going to keep this one. Oh, a piece of a lion's paw. All right. So, yep, I'm on the hunt for that too. Yeah, and if it's really stripy, I probably will snag that little spectral bittersweet. So there's no lack of shells. All right, we have some wampum. So that is from a northern quahog, basically a big old clam. We do have some of these on the other coast. Actually, we have both. We have northern and southern quahogs over on the west coast. And it looks like we have them down here too. Now, I think that's a giant coquina. I think. It's kind of got the right shape. I've never found one before. Oh, it's really neat. So it's just like a giant coquina. Also called a donax. That's part of its scientific name. Oh, that is swell. Okay. Another little zigzaggy. Yep. A little giant bittersweet. You're lovely with your little caramel zigzaggy colors. Oh, and lurking in the background. Yet another man of war. Yep, there was no shortage of siphonophores out on the beach. Oh. So the way that the currents run up the southeast Florida coast, it will bring in a lot of cool Caribbean kind of shells, like helmets, things like that. So that's just a piece, but there are some opportunities for some really spectacular specimens over here. Oh, it's a lion's paw. Oh, it's intact. Oh, but goodness. I mean, we see sand, but there's like marine cement on there. Oh, that's okay. It's intact. So I'm absolutely collecting that, and I'm absolutely going to soak that in bleach. And at the very end of the video, we're going to go ahead and see what that bleach did to that lovely shell. Coral. So that's from a living animal. Coral is a critter. You're not allowed to keep that. That is brain coral, and it is prohibited to be collected or kept. So if you do find coral, you're not supposed to take it. You're supposed to leave it at the beach. I don't make the rules. I just follow them for the most part. So we are gonna leave that coral there and keep hunting. And oh, it looks, see, a little shark toothy. Got to be down more by the water. So this is a frond oyster. I think, and they are very ununiform. So they can be all sorts of weird shapes. The only thing that's really kind of consistent is the big ripples in it. So there's a frond oyster. And then I was wondering, did that crab kind of drag that siphonophore over? It can kind of snack on it, but I don't know if that's actually what happened, but the crabs do eat them. So, yep, they can be food for someone else. And then I thought this was kind of funny. Now, I'm from northern New Jersey area, and that's a pigeon. But technically, pigeons are rock doves, so they're interchangeable. So I'm going to start calling them rock doves. It just sounds a little bit nicer than pigeon. So the rock dove is just busy, I don't know, picking at the seaweed, I guess. There could be other nutrient-rich things in there. All right. Lisa, oh, I think that's another giant coquina. I was just going to say there's no siphonophores over there. So I do think that that's another one of those. It's kind of got that same shape. So I think that is a giant coquina. And again, really cool. I don't get to find those. But those often, I saw it right away. Right away. There's a laser. Oh, excellent. And the part that's buried isn't broken. Oh, it's intact. So that is an Imperial Venus clam. I only get to hunt for those when I'm over here because they just don't show up where I normally go shelling. So that just tickles me to no end. I think they're swell. So it's also known as a wedding cake shell, a Pawleys Island shell, just cool as heck, Imperial Venus. So now I'm excited. All right, where there's one, there could be more. All right, we have a tinted cantharus. Seems to be missing its top. And I'm just kind of left with, like, there's not a whole lot here. I mean, it's all one particular, it's all like bittersweets. And so I'm just kind of trying to see what else might be hiding, what I recognize. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. So another one, and it's not broken. Yay! So another Imperial Venus clam. Thank you, Juno Beach. You're being so good to me. I appreciate it. Imperial Venus clam. And then this, yeah, it's a spiny jewel box. Yeah, I don't know how likely it would be to actually find a very spiny jewel box over here. But that's what that is. I recognize you, you spiny jewel box, you. And I am, again, I have been running into people talking about shark teeth. And this one gentleman, he did gift me. So I have one. I didn't find it. So not like it doesn't count, but I really want to find my own. And people were telling me, you know, look in the surf, look up here. And I really wasn't sure what they were trying to tell me. It didn't make a lot of sense. I've gone shark tooth hunting in Venice. You're scooping teeth out of the water and like pouring it on top. I've gone shark tooth hunting up in St. Augustine. That was at Michler's. Now this siphonophore, first of all, I think there's a crazy tentacle going out the back right, but you can kind of see some of that purple tentacles like moving around. It's actually kind of sad because this is the underline for these guys. If it gets washed up on the beach like this, it's not like you can pick it up and kind of toss it back out into the water. Once they kind of make it onto the beach, that's it. And so it's sad because they're going to expire. And it's just the way that it goes sometimes. And so that purple mass on the bottom, that looks to me like it's the tentacles, and you can kind of see them kind of moving around. Again, really kind of sad. Sorry, Man of War. No, I don't think that other thing was a tentacle. Oh, look, more limestone. Very nice. So I got a smile. I got some purple creatures that I'm appreciating. Some Imperial Venus clams in my shell bag. Holy cow, this is beautiful. I'm kind of peeking. I mean, the water is so clear, but it's mostly just a spectral bittersweet. It's most of the stuff that's already up on the beach anyway. Oh, but it's so pretty. All right, where am I looking? I don't even know where to go. In the water. All right, you know what? Let's look up here. Let's check up the rack line. Never know. Maybe I'll get lucky and spy an Imperial Venus clam. It looks like 99.9% of the shells are the spectral bittersweets, and that's great. I'm picking up the very stripy ones. Now, bittersweets, they live in sand out to like moderate depths. And fun fact, they get their name bittersweet from the way that they taste. Because many Eastern Atlantic countries actually eat these guys, and that's how they got their name bittersweet. So between the giant bittersweets and the spectral bittersweets, yep, bittersweet. I guess that's kind of like what? Like the sweet and sour? All right, so we got a couple of giant and one very stripy bittersweet clam. Oh, this is beautiful. All right, I've been yammering on and on. This is so pretty. I'm going to be quiet and let you have some beach time. The color of the water, it's mesmerizing me. Normally, if you're with me, you're one of my regular viewers, you know the water, it's blue, it's pretty, but it doesn't look like that. Oh, it's just knocking my socks. Actually, I'm not wearing socks. I'm wearing beach shoes, but it's absolutely beautiful. So happy to be here. Oh, you know what I think that is? I think that's a rather beat up Stocky Cerith. Now, if I remember correctly, I did find one over at Dry Tortugas, but you're not allowed to keep anything at Dry Tortugas because it is a national park, so I was not allowed to keep it. So even though I've held one before, I didn't actually get to add it to my collection. And even though this one's really, really beat up, I think I'm going to keep it anyway, just in case it is a Stocky Cerith. Oh, guess what? Guess what? Look at that. That's a shiny auger. Oh, so this is one of those shells that I would see in my shell book, and I knew I'd never found it. I was very excited. They're always this white and kind of cream color, and it looks more like a bullet. You see how it's kind of like tapered on the top, and it tapers again on the bottom. Isn't that cool? So it's called shiny auger because it's shiny. Isn't that swell? I think that's awesome. Look at that. So that is a West Indian false cerith. We have them over here as well. I'm surprised that I would find a shell like this. Can you find Wentel traps over here? Oh, this is looking very shark toothy. So this kind of looks like an area that I would be looking for them. This is what I ultimately ended up doing, is just kind of watching some of the other locals, what they were doing, paying attention to kind of what the sand looked like, where the surf looked like, where they were. So I was just kind of looking at the locals. The Ruddy Turnstones. Now, I find these fascinating because they breed in high Arctic regions of North America, Europe, and Asia. But yet, you can find them here. So it's just, I think they're fantastic. The Ruddy Turnstone. All right, this is looking shark toothy again. No. So this is kind of, yeah, like in the swash there. Okay, managed to get another one of those tinted cantharus shells. That one almost has a top. It's pretty well. So this is kind of what people were, I guess they were trying to kind of explain to me, but this is kind of the area that they were looking right at the very edge. It seems to me that low tide would be better because it's more of a lapping kind of surf versus kind of like the way I like to look for Wentel traps. What did I get? I got another shiny auger. Woohoo! Oh, right. That is awesome. So I guess it's true. Where there's one, there could be more. So that is another shiny auger. That's great. Very cool. Things can come in pairs. I love it. All right, not to be confused with the Eastern auger. Now this is the auger that I normally pick up, and you'll see that it's at the top, it's tapered, and it just kind of goes down, kind of like a carrot versus a bullet. So that is the Eastern auger. Also a lovely, lovely shell. Wow, the color of that water. See, I don't care. I'm having a great time. It's just beautiful. And look at this. Well, nutmeg. What? And it's in really good condition. Well, thank you. You remind me of home. So that's just a regular common nutmeg, but wow, that was awesome. And turkey wing. All right, yeah, are you broken? No, you're just kind of shaped kind of weird, which is great. Weird is good in my opinion. So that is a zigzag arc or turkey wing. Lovely. Oh, guess what? All right, so I kept at it and I kept at it and I found a shark. Look, it's smiling at me. So I did find a shark tooth. I kept doing what everybody else was doing, kind of hunting in that area, right, just at the edge in the swash there. And okay, I finally broke my dry spell. I did manage to find at least one shark tooth on my own. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, I can see how that can be addictive. You know what though? It took a really long time to just find one tooth. It's a completely different type of hunting, but I was successful. Yay. So this is the culmination. I was over here for 2 days. I hit 4 different beach locations. This was really great. I feel like I learned more being able to stay over here for more than just like one trip. So this has been great. And everyone who's come along with me, thank you. Now I did remove some garbage, 7.25 ounces, which isn't a lot, but when you add it up, I have removed a little over 75 pounds of garbage from the beaches in Florida. And today I removed a couple of those stripy spectral bittersweets, and one is a drill hole. That's kind of fun. There are just pieces of shells. I grabbed those too. There's a piece of wampum, a frond oyster, on the bottom some thorny oysters, looks like giant coquinas. These are the giant bittersweets. Yep, more giant bittersweets all the way up. There we have the lady-in-waiting Venus clam, the tinted cantharus, an olive, some augers, the thorny oyster, the starter Stocky Cerith, some turkey wings. My favorite stuff, though, is going to be that lion's paw, that nutmeg, the 2 Imperial Venus clams, that sea heart bean, the shiny augers, that tooth, that shark tooth was really cool, and there was kind of a dark lady-in-waiting Venus clam. So it was really fun. It was very different, very spread out. It still was amazing. Now, I did tell you I was going to show you what that looked like. So I did take that and I soaked it in 100% bleach for like a week. Yeah, there's some marine gunk on there that's really kind of cemented. And I'm just going to hold on to the shell because I need to figure out how to get that like cemented stuff off. So I'm on a mission. A new cleaning mission. And believe me, once I figure it out, I will be sure to share. Patreons. Welcome, new Patreons. Thank you so very much for choosing to support me. I literally could not do this without you. So please, thank you. And everyone else who comes along and watches, I really do appreciate you as well. Thank you for your comments, your love. Like I said, I could not do this without you. Next week, we're back on the West Coast. We're going to Key Wading. So I hope you have yourself a fantastic week, and I will see you again next Sunday.